Dramatic.com and reporter for AfterElton.com. Thank you for coming today. I think we're all very excited, so we're just going to get started right away and bring everybody out. First of all, the man who knows all the secrets and is really good at keeping them, creator Jeff Davis. He's grown up in a big way since the first season, and he plays Scott McCall, Tyler Posey. Choose our BFF, I choose Stiles. Love this shirt. That's great. Okay, so you guys all know this show really well. I want to talk to Jeff a little bit, since we're getting ready for season 3, coming up very soon. How do you think about the first 2 seasons when you go into a new season? Do you kind of think how far back you go and where you're heading?
Well, we definitely think about where the characters have been and where we're taking them. It's kind of incredible to think that we're at a 3rd season. And I look at pictures of myself from season 1 and I've aged incredibly, so. But it's also kind of amazing. Look at that. Look at that handsome man. It's also kind of amazing to see how the audience has grown too and how passionate you guys are. So that's the best motivation in the world to keep working. And I just hope that what we try to do is make every season bigger and better. And I think we found a really good voice last season.
Is anyone listening to Jeff, by the way?
Jeff is a very
I'm
important
trying to look at the
thing.
pictures too, though.
Well, Tyler, tell me, when you see some of these pictures go by and they're 2-3 years old when you shot those scenes.
I was going to say, Kate was in there just now.
Yeah, how does it make you feel?
Well, it makes me miss Jill. It makes me miss Jill. We used to have a lot of fun with Jill on set, and we know anymore because she's dead. in the show. She's married now and lives a very beautiful life. Ooh, look at that, scary.
Dylan, how about you when you see some of these pictures that are a couple of years old? How do you feel?
Yeah, I feel inspired. Yeah, literally, I didn't know what to do at all.
Yeah, it's weird. No, it's totally weird. I look weird,
It's weird looking at yourself at all. Yeah, weird, it's so weird. And my favorite hunter of that season, too. Anyone catch that guy? That guy was great.
All right, so we have a DVD of the 2nd season that's coming out May 21st. Jeff, talk about putting that together and what we'll see on it. Commentaries, behind the scenes, what's going on with that?
Well, we tried to bring in some extra footage, as much extra footage as we could possibly find. What's funny about doing this show is we use almost all the footage we shoot, these scenes. We never cut scenes, really. I think there's only one scene that was cut from a full episode. But my co-executive producer, Christian, and I, who's in the audience somewhere, did commentary for 3 episodes. We have some really cool behind-the-scenes stuff, a really good gag reel. And I think it looks good. But buying it on DVD is a good idea because you get the best quality. And it's because we put in a huge amount of time for post-production, so it's going to be good.
And how is it when you guys do look back? Like you look at the 2nd season, you have to watch episodes again, or you're talking through them. It's probably been a lot of time since you actually shot them. So how does it make all of you feel when you go back and watch just what happened last season?
It's cool.
Yeah. That's all.
It's really cool.
Well, I can say. I was just saying this to somebody in an interview before. I always I always look back at our previous seasons and previous episodes, and I just always feel like we've grown, already, and it's really cool. And that's, it's better than feeling like we've gotten worse. So Yeah.
See, Dylan's a little like Johnny Depp in that way, I think. He's an extraordinary actor. You are. But I showed Dylan this video clip of Johnny Depp on Letterman. Letterman was asking him what he thought of the movie Public Enemies, and Johnny Depp says, "Oh, I haven't seen it." And Letterman's like, "You don't watch your own stuff?" He says, "No. Well, once I do it, it's that guy up there." And Dylan's very much the same way. I think he's a tough critic on yourself. Have you seen the episodes from the first season in a while? You can't watch them, can you?
No, yeah, it's so weird. It's weird for any human, you know, when you hear your voice, you know, or like, you know, see yourself on camera. It's just totally something to get used to. Like, or
Obviously, they're very good at interviews too.
I mean, same, exactly what it is.
Do you need me to write you material before we come up here next time?
Like cue cards.
One thing I've always wanted to know since the pilot, really, what is Stiles' first name?
Oh.
Do we know? Will we ever know?
It's Stiles.
Just Stiles? His last name is still
Does anyone? People think they have a theory on what his name is, but
Yeah.
I blame bad.
Frank?
Frank?
Frank.
No, Stiles' real name is one of the long-standing mysteries of the show, and maybe in like the last episode,
Yeah.
the series finale, maybe in the last minute,
Yeah.
series finale, we'll find out what it is.
So it's kind of the Kramer of the show.
It's definitely not Cosmo.
All right.
Yes.
There you go. So Jeff, you know, thinking about season 3, then how did you craft it? Because you got a big order. You got 24 episodes.
Yes.
So how did you think about it? Did you think about it as 24? Did you think about it as 12?
Well,
Two sets of 12?
to try to remain sane while writing, we think of it as 12 episodes and 12 episodes, so we call them 3A and 3B. They're definitely, one leads into the next, but we keep them as separate stories. We kind of plot out the seasons like big movies, and we're very proud that they actually feel like it too. But my co-executive producer Christian and I, we went away and we, for days, just talked about what the season would be. We kind of knew what the overarching mystery was going to be, but we came up with great ideas. And then we sat down and we finally outlined it all together. But in a kind of show like this, when it's a very involved mystery, you really need to know where all the things place out. We know what the last scene of the episode 12 is going to be. So it's a great scene. We're really excited about it. So
We don't know.
They don't know. They never know anything. But we do. I can say we do know what the second set of 12 episodes is going to be about, and the new mythology and mystery we're going to bring in for that one. So we do our work.
Okay. We pick up in season 3. It's a 4-month time jump. Why 4 months? Why did we pick up right away? Why did we need 4 months in between?
Well, we wanted to give a kind of reset button for the series, and one of the important things to me was showing these characters growing a bit. It was the first big time jump we've actually really done, and I think it helps basically get the characters back to normal, so that you don't have to see them getting over things. We don't have to start the first episode with all of them morose and boring and depressed, so we can jump back into it. You know, nobody wants to see that. In real life, with all that death and destruction, they'd probably have to be in therapy every day for 4 months. So they're all post-therapy, and they're starting their junior year of high school. So it's a different world.
Okay, backing up, I meant to ask you, you know, social media is such a big thing in all of our lives. The show definitely. How much of that do you kind of pay attention to when you're crafting the show, and even for you guys when you're acting? Like, you know, hearing what people like, what maybe they don't like as much. How much does that
Ask the
figure in?
boys first. What do you think? Social media. You guys are Twitter guys, and
Like if they have criticism about the show.
Maybe the show or like something that your character did, or a romance that's going one way and they want to go another. How does that influence you guys at all?
I don't know.
Maybe I should answer this one.
It doesn't influence really us at all. I'm not influenced by it.
I'll say personally that I love to read what the fans have to say. For a writer, it's very bad procrastination, so I have to stay away from it these days. I'm I'm on 3 hours of sleep today because I'm still struggling to finish episode 10, which we're shooting next week. So yes, that's the crushing hours of TV. But I will say that it's interesting to see the way people react to certain characters, like the hatred for Allison in the second season, which was I knew that was going to happen, but the venom was kind of surprising. But we made her into a bad guy, so it was supposed to happen, and I think that was really fun for her to play. So what we're going to do this season is redeem her, make her a hero again. So it's fascinating to see the reaction, but we're very careful about how we plot this stuff. So what we really want to do is, I think it's always best if you're manipulating the audience and you're controlling them in a way. So nobody wants to see happiness and picnics on screen. They want to see death and strife and conflict.
Making Allison bad for the season, or putting her against the guys at least, were you nervous at all that maybe the next step when you try to redeem her might not work, because she might go so far?
Well, that's okay, because you always get a good bad guy that way. If she was a great bad guy, we'd have kept her that way.
All right.
But we like her as a hero.
I know you guys have a lot of fun on the set and shooting, and I think we might have something we can actually watch. With some of the fun outtakes, blooper. We got a blooper. So we're gonna watch a blooper reel. Here we go. Bloopers!
Please, Allison, stop! Oh my God. Do it again.
Friendship is questioning.
What you say on speed, you got some real MCs in here, baby.
Took a fur coat and give it to her as a birthday present. Let me say that again. What's up?
Can I find it?
Oh, sure. I trust you. Sucker, dude. Get that guy. We're not in the middle of the take, are we? That'd be so awkward. Seriously, if he does anything. Bacon, neighborhood. Did you fart?
I don't care, I can help them. It's okay.
Dylan's not a part of season 3, he's on Arrow. But talk about Jackson, because Jackson was in the world at the end of season 2. Is it explained? Where do we see at least that character in season 3?
You find out in episode 1. And we deal with it as delicately, as carefully as we can. But it's hard when an actor moves on, so we had to move on fast too. So that was one of the things we deal with in that 4-month space. So, but he is a phenomenal actor and still really good friends with him. So we're gonna miss him.
Obviously, a lot of the scenes that we saw in there are shot at night. You guys do a lot of night shooting.
Yes,
you
and
were
it's
in
brutal.
The first 2 seasons you shot in Atlanta. Now you're shooting in LA. So when I asked the guys first, Tyler and Dylan, how is it different? You're not in Atlanta. You're in LA. Does it feel different?
Yeah, it totally feels different. The weather's way different. First of all, every time we shoot in Atlanta, it's like the coldest in the world ever.
And it's nicknamed Hotlanta.
It's nicknamed Hotlanta, so it makes no sense. Doesn't make any sense. It's cool because I feel like we're already with a normal Teen Wolf schedule. It's 12 episodes, and we're already almost done with that. So it's just time has gone by so fast. I feel like, and we get to see our family. See my girlfriend every day, so it's yeah, it's awesome. Thanks, guys.
Dylan, what do you think?
I just thought that Tyler did so good on that I would be sitting back and it'd be great. Wow, off the hook with that?
Thank you, Dylan.
Thank you, Dylan. Jeff, you've said in season 3, a lot of death, dark. Just how so? How dark? How much death?
Well, you're going to start to see the promos soon, and what you'll see is we've really gone for kind of a horror season. I'm really proud of this season because we do a lot of stuff that's very dark and really get into some heavy drama. But it's still one of our funniest seasons as well. Stiles still has great lines. There's a lot of there's such great chemistry between the characters as usual. I was telling my co-executive producer, Christian Taylor, who directed episode 6, that it's one of our darkest episodes, but it's still one of our funniest. And these two have a scene together where it's one of the most emotional we've done, which don't say anything about it, but it's going to be amazing. So there were tears on set, real tears.
Tyler, I'm going to ask you about going from season 1 to now. Scott's changed so much. How has your approach to playing him changed? Now that you're going into the 3rd year. Take a big stretch first, please.
My approach to the character, I view him a lot differently. I mean, I think the way that I approach any character is kind of the same. I just kind of do it, I guess, And the fact that I've been playing Scott McCall for going on 4 years now, it's way easier just to be that role. So it's not like I'm changing a lot of how I approach the character. It's just it's easier now, I guess, and it makes more sense to be Scott and progress with him, because we are the same dude now, kind of. So thank you. It's really hard up here, struggling. Yeah, so I mean, and I noticed that the first day we had anything to do with season 3, we had a table read, and literally all of us got together and sat around a giant table and read the first script. And Dylan and I first noticed that it was we felt like we were our characters. Whereas the second season, the first day of the second season, it took us a little while to get into the groove of our characters, but I feel like we're already here. So that's been awesome to witness. Oh God.
Dylan, would you like to talk
Again,
about
I feel like you really covered it. Yeah, it's we're growing with the characters. We're growing as people, and hence our minds about our characters grows. Where you guys going? This ain't over. Yeah, we're starting to sprout facial hair.
But you also wrote a scene this season.
Yes, Jeff let me help write a scene with him, which was really, really nice of him. Let's all thank him. Give him a hand.
I have to say, one big difference is they both have a lot more input this year on their characters. I love that as a writer, to have actors come up with very thoughtful questions and to have Stiles know his character so much. There's a bit of dialogue that's a reference to their real lives, actually, and the fact that Tyler still has never seen any of the Star Wars movies.
Right?
I reference them constantly.
Oh, dude.
I care for you.
Well, let's touch on the romances on the show. Let's start first with Dylan and Lydia. Stiles and Lydia. Stiles and Lydia.
Lydia.
Where do we find them in season 3?
You don't.
You're like looking for us, and you're just like, where are they? Yeah, when we left off, I was heartbroken. As per you, I feel like when we always leave off, I'm heartbroken. And oh my God, thank you. Yeah, it's he obviously still has those feelings for Lydia. That's not going to go away. It's been 4 months though. He's tried to move on, kind of just take ownership of himself. But what he's got to do, be a man, focus on himself for a second, and those other people that he's got to take care of, like his dad and Lydia, funny enough, and Scott.
Oh. We had some long conversations about the hair in Lydia, didn't we?
The hair and Lydia?
Yeah, remember?
Yeah, they were both discussions.
The reason.
Yeah, right. Yeah. What was it?
Tell us about that.
Oh, I see what's happening. So yes. What? The hair? Like the reason that I grew my hair?
Yeah, we were talking about if it's because of Lydia or not.
Got it. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
You would want to move on.
Yes.
And you want to be a different person.
Right.
You want to part of that conversation. But I will say this about the hair though. It's kind of a funny first day because he came out with the new hairstyle, and I'd seen all these pictures and really liked his long hair. And we had this long debate about what do you cut it or not? Do we cut it or not? I kept asking him. Leave it up to you. I don't think you wanted me to. You wanted me to.
Yeah.
But he came out, and I looked at his hair. I'm like, it doesn't look good. Yeah, maybe we should shave it. And he's looking at me like, it doesn't look good, doesn't look good. We should shave the hair. We have to shave the hair. And like 3/4 of the way into the day, we were still sort of panicking. We were like, oh my God, did we just lose an entire day of shooting because of his hair?
This is about hair, by the way.
And then we figured out it just needed to be cut a little shorter on the sides, and he did it himself. He does his own hair. So,
It's very nice.
and he's beautiful.
So Tyler, that takes us to Scott and Allison. Definitely season 2 they had a rough road. Season 3, where are they at? If she's going to be redeemed, or at least try to be redeemed, how does that put her with Scott?
Well, I mean, she was already cool with Scott to begin with, He was like, I have faith that we're going to be together forever.
She tried to kill you.
So then,
Somebody sitting next to you wrote
after
those
she tried
lines.
to kill me a bunch of times. Scott thinks that they're going to be together forever. So she doesn't need redeeming in his eyes, you know what I mean? But they need some time apart, and Scott accepts that and takes it as initiative, like Dylan said, to I forgot what you said. Take ownership of himself. He starts working out, starts reading books, and becomes a better student, son, a better friend, and just takes that 4 months as like time to, what did you say? To grow. And with Allison, they're still taking a step back, and Scott's doing his own thing, but the craziness of Beacon Hills kind of brings them together again, and as of now, their relationship is up in the air. So, Jeff, what are you gonna do?
It's all in the hands of Jeff.
You'll see.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. I have to say one of the fun things to do in the 3rd season is to change up the relationships. So, you start out with star-crossed lovers in the 1st season, and where do you want to take the characters? Where do they go? and what would make for the most interesting conflict. And I mean, one of my all-time favorite shows was Cheers. And Sam and
This is the worst. Oh, Cheers? Cheers. Oh, this is Cheers.
Very different shows.
That's right. But what I was saying was Sam and Diane were constantly breaking up and getting back together, and there's great drama to be had in seeing them separated. So, and then seeing them possibly with other people. So, I think we'll have a lot of fun with those relationships. You guys okay with that? Wait.
I was asking if you were talking about Scott and Allison or me and Scott.
Oh, Scott and Allison. You guys are always together.
I gotta say,
I always said the real romance on the show is between
well, all this talk about season 3 got me kind of excited. I want to see some of season 3.
Do you have a clip? What's that? Trouble?
Ready for a rematch?
We said to hell with heckling.
He's not here today. Jared's dead.
Contract negotiations are getting more and more difficult.
Well, Jeff, we know the alphas are coming. There's some new characters
Yes,
on
you
the
just
show.
saw two of them.
Can you talk about who we just saw?
You saw a character played by Brian Patrick Wade named Ennis, who is one of our very most powerful werewolves. You didn't see him in werewolf makeup, but he looks phenomenal in werewolf makeup, actually. Some people's faces really take to it. Tyler Hoechlin always made a great werewolf, I thought. It's, for some reason, the makeup seemed to fit. I don't know, what are they, not the But he looks great. And you saw Kali, who's an alpha werewolf that uses her feet, the claws on her toes to fight, and she does a lot of slashing with that. And then you saw the character of Cora, who is a very interesting character that comes into play with Beacon Hills. So you're gonna see a lot of new people who are really exciting, actually, and great actors. There's some like phenomenal new actors on the show, including like Gideon Emery, who plays the kind of leader of the alphas, and the twins, actually, Max and Charlie Carver, who are the nicest guys in the world.
They're the coolest dudes.
As you guys would know from Desperate Housewives, they grew up and they're all grown up. So, Jeff, is it safe to say they're alphas, or is that?
Yes, they are.
They are alphas. Okay.
And they have some very nefarious plans with certain characters in Beacon Hills.
Okay.
A little bit of romance.
Okay. Which this may or may not be connected, but I want to talk about Danny a little bit, who's a fan favorite. Is Danny going to have some romance this season?
Yes.
Anything else you'd like to tell us?
I think I've said certain things online. There would be some partial nudity. Nothing that. Nothing that's not cable friendly. But yeah, there's plenty of romance this season as well. So we get a lot of mileage out of pairing people up and then seeing what relationships get horribly destroyed.
Well, and, this is 2013. You're on a cable show with LGBT content in the show. Do you get pushback at all, or is it welcomed, or how do you approach it in this day and age?
No, I don't. Does someone answer for me?
Where's that? Who's LGBT?
Lesbian, bisexual, gay, transgender.
Gay stuff. I just asked if he's gotten any pushback, or how does he approach
from the network
story?
No pushback whatsoever.
Which is how it should be.
Yes. The third season, the show that's gotten popular, and also the fact that MTV is a very progressive network. They know that we're here to tell a great story, and if it fits the story, and it's a progression of characters, I mean, why not see all types of people have romance on television? Then we will keep moving forward with it.
I got a lot of Twitter questions from maybe people here, people who are not here. So I wanted to ask a couple of these. This is from Diana Duran. Does Stiles become more badass this season?
Yeah. I mean, doesn't he every season? I just want to make him laugh and then throw the mic back at you. And, I don't know what else to do. Does he get more badass? I have to answer it because I can't not answer it.
Are there things that are more challenging?
Funny anecdote, while I'm thinking of an answer, I worked with a woman named Diane Durant this summer, actually, very funny. Diane Durant, it's just this name of the Twitter handle. Oh my god, this is so sad. He is more involved. I have no idea. No idea. I just heard about something with maybe I use a bat. Haven't heard if it's badass or comical though.
I described the scene to him in 310, which I'm still writing. This was supposed to finish last week.
Shoot him on.
But I love seeing Stiles be badass personally. I mean, he can be badass and funny at the same time. We'll throw in a one-liner there. I kind of see Stiles growing up to be some sort of kick-ass FBI agent. Progressing beyond just like his father. He's got to branch out from his father's thing, which is being sheriff. And we were talking about it the other day. What would be the older, the Stiles and Scott of their 30s. So Stiles would obviously be a FBI agent.
Can't take you out.
What's that?
All right, I've got a Twitter question for Tyler. This is from Posey Fingers. Okay. There you go. What's a bigger challenge for Scott in season 3, the alphas or love life?
The alphas, because as of now he has no love. It's totally cool. It's totally cool.
Okay, we got one for Jeff from 1-800-TEAM-WOLF. That's the Twitter handle. How much of the whole story of the show do you have in your head? Like, do you know what the last scene of the last episode, whenever that happens? How far do you have into the story?
Well, I have a certain idea of where the characters will eventually end up, but you kind of like to keep things open as a writer and see where the characters themselves take you, because sometimes the characters develop into different beings. I mean, one of the best characters I think that's come out of the show that's really surprised us in the writers' room is the character of Lydia, who is becoming more and more, and partly this has to do with Holland Roden being such a phenomenal actor. When you get an actor like that who keeps constantly surprising you, you want to write to them. You want to make their character even more interesting. And I think she does a phenomenal job. So Lydia's character becomes ever more important in this season. And both in terms of her relationship with Stiles and with Scott, actually. There was just a really great scene that you guys did together the other night for 309. That sort of cements the relationship between Lydia and Scott and just how she'll be able to help him in the future of Teen Wolf. So it's really interesting to see where the characters take themselves. So I always say it's up to it's up to what you want to see as a writer, the stories that entertain you as an audience member. But then the characters often surprise you. I remember hearing Vince Gilligan talking about Breaking Bad, which is one of my absolute favorite shows of all time. And when they get into the writer's room, they have absolutely no idea how the season is going to end. So they figure it out along the way. We have a bit more of a plan than that, but it's nice to be surprised.
Okay. Got one more Twitter question, then we're going to open it up for audience questions, so there'll be a mic back here for you guys to line up at. Okay. Hang tight. One more Twitter, then we'll get to you guys. This is from Theater KOTY, Cody. For Jeff and Tyler, you can weigh in. Will we find out what happened to Scott's father, or just back to Scott's father?
I just asked him that question earlier today.
Let's talk about Scott's father.
I was very evasive with Tyler about that question, which I probably will be very evasive. You will eventually see Scott's father, and he will play a very pivotal role in the show. Partly what we want to do is introduce, we love introducing new characters because it gives new energy to the show, and new conflicts and new relationships. So the number one rule we have is never at the expense of the main characters we already have. We want to make sure those characters are just as engaging as they are. What is happening over here? But what kind of dad do you think Scott has?
What kind of dad do I think Scott has?
Yeah.
Someone who walks out on them and doesn't call them for years.
But he's a sweetheart.
I have no idea what kind of dad Scott has.
That could actually lead to a question about Stiles' mom, which is a big question I know for the fandom. What happened with Stiles' mom? Was the reason Stiles first shaved his head because of his mom? Someone said no. I didn't even know that.
Jeff, will those be coming in season 3? Either one of those story points?
Yes. Right?
Yes. You will definitely learn more about Scott's father. You may learn a little bit more about Stiles' mother, but we'll have to see.
Okay. All right. It's your guys' turn. Q&A with the audience.
Love this part.
My friend Jessica is a huge fan, and it's her birthday, and she wasn't able to be here today. So she's.
Are you a fan?
I've seen some episodes.
How did you get first in line?
You're a really good friend.
She wanted me to ask if we were going to ever see more of Stiles' ADHD and panic attacks.
Yes, absolutely. Is that for me? Yes, you will, because I actually, I think it's a sort of an important subject for children, and it's something that, I mean, Scott's an asthmatic, Stiles has ADHD, and it's definitely a character conflict, so.